What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with another video, and I'm happy this video is a review. Long-awaited review. We are finally reviewing Senua Saga Hellblade 2, and this game has been long-awaited, highly anticipated. This was the game Xbox decided to reveal when they revealed the Xbox Series X back at the 2019 Jeff Keighley Awards, the Game Awards, man. That was, 5 years ago? But it's here. It's finally here. Hellblade 2. And I'm just going to go out and say it, man. This is not a, a highly produced, video review that I'm doing. Nothing is scripted. I'm just going off my raw opinion, and I'm still going to try to respect the craft and the game by not giving away any spoilers or anything like that, or showing you any spoilers. I just want to try to show you guys, man, that this game is the real deal. And I'm going to say this, man. Senua Saga's Hellblade 2 is perfectly executed. In fact, I don't think we're going to see another game executed this well for the remainder of the year. This Hellblade 2 almost solidified its own genre of gameplay. Now, I'm going to talk about the things I did not like about Hellblade 1, and people have my takes. They posted about what I said about Hellblade 1. I felt Hellblade 1 was more of a walking sim. I didn't like that the combat was too far in between and that it was heavily scripted. It wasn't free-flowing combat. I was hoping that with Hellblade 2 come along, that it was less of a narrative walking sim and more of a standardized action game. And I'm going to tell you this. My thoughts of what I wanted of Hellblade 2 was absolutely wrong, because if Hellblade 2 was what I wanted for a video game, the game would be average. But because Ninja Theory and Xbox doubled down on what they put out with the original Hellblade and took something, improved it, and put the graphics on 100, the story, oh my God, it's on 100. And that execution of visual concept, cinematic feel is on 100. They literally said, okay, how can we make Hellblade better? And they made it better. I couldn't even predict the outcome of how this game would turn out. So no, Hellblade 2 was not a traditional action game. Hellblade 2 is a Hellblade game, and what this game is a story-driven game first. It's a story game first with some puzzle mechanics and with some awesome raw hardcore combat mechanics and a little bit of traversal. Now, some of the things that turned people off in the first game was those, repetitive puzzles that you have to keep lining up, the stuff like that. Yes, that obviously returns in Hellblade 2, but there are not as many. Actually, in my opinion, there's less puzzles overall in this game than there is in the first game. And yeah, those puzzles do return, but they're like, it's only, you can count on a single hand how many times you do a puzzle like that. They mix and match the puzzles a little bit. They throw in, none of them are hard or difficult. You're not going to be, I don't think you're going to be challenged unless you're just really just bad at seeing or, lining things up. But they're not too challenging, but the puzzles are very sophisticated. They're very like, oh, nice. Like, it wasn't obvious, but you figure it out. Another thing Hellblade 2 does great is they teach you how to play the game without actually teaching you. So if you look at Hellblade, right, there's no UI, there's no buttons on the screen, there's nothing on the screen. Everything is visual and sound, which we recommend play the game with some good headphones because the sound is terrific. Obviously, the voices and stuff come back, but that universal directional sound is all there. Whatever technique that they're using is on 100. The other thing I'm going to talk about is, like, yes, the puzzles come back, but they're not as reoccurring as it was in the first game, and they mix it up quite well in this game. Some of the puzzles does some wonderful things with the visuals. We know during the previews they talk about the whole face morphing and focusing on the rock sculptures that like a face that opens up pathways. Those don't overstay welcome. They're cool when they show up, and some of them, believe it or not, are actually easy to miss if you're not paying attention. You'll get they add a lot of story beats, side content that will attribute to some in-game content, I must say. So the combat, one of the things I was heavily, looking forward to, is widely improved. No, they don't teach you how to play. It's still like a 2-3 button combination. You got your strong attack, which is Y, your weak attack, which is X. You got A, which is to evade, and then you have the right bumper, which is a parry. And that's pretty much it, and that's going to be the combination. But the thing is about this game and the action that you're into, the game really doesn't tell you what move you should try to block or parry and what move you should try to evade from. It's kind of trial and error, and you kind of have to figure it out while you're going through the motions. And honestly, guys, I really like that about the game. It was just like, you know what? It is what it is. And it added an element of challenge to the game, not because the people were difficult. It's just like, all right, I got to figure this out. And the fact that there's no UI or no waypoints, you're kind of just moving along. And with that, with a game this beautiful, you don't want UI plastered all over the screen. This game graphically is like bananas. You would think these guys, Ninja Theory, you would think they were experts at Unreal Engine 5. Like, it just comes together well. The land and environment of, I think they built this game in Iceland. The materials of the clothes, the facial expressions, down to the teeth and gum lines. This game is beautiful in all elements, and this game has a ton of biomes where it just gets to shine, whether it's gray fog or blue caves or mountaintops with the sun setting and rising. It's gorgeous. Now I'm sure folks over at Digital Foundry will deep dive into his visuals and point out some of the flaws, like low resolution fire effects or the odd looking water that occurs. Like, on the surface it's great, but there are some parts deep in the game where it's like, oh, okay, that kind of looks off. But overall, the game plays masterful. I didn't have any too much of an issue with performance. The game is running at 30 frames per second at whatever resolution. You could tell they're using a ton of sort of reconstruction work to help build up that final image. But these are some high quality visuals, and I got to play this game on the Xbox Series X. When it comes time for lunch, I will play it again on PC, and this game is on Game Pass. But I'm gonna tell you guys, man, Hellblade 2 is so dope. I'm going to buy it on Steam on PC because I'm gonna obviously play it. I've already beaten it on Xbox. I'm going to play and beat it on PC Game Pass. I'm going to buy it on Steam. The story is very dope. Now, people appreciated the first game for them going into that psychosis of that schizo sort of thing with the voices and her kind of find her inner self and the challenges of life of that self-doubt and stuff like that. This game, so that stuff is back. They amped it up a bit, but the element that adds to this game that brings this story and what makes it 5 times better than the last one is the other characters they bring in. The mission, the fact that this is not a solo mission. This is not Senua on her own. It's obviously she has some self redemption that she's looking for while on this quest. But on this quest, she got others to help. And these are some strong, compelling co-stars that they got for her, and they've done a masterful job. But it also helps to enjoy the story, where it's just you don't feel super alone. There's always people or characters with you. There's interest in seeing what happened to them, their upbringing, diving deep into what they do and helping them and get them through stuff. So now the impacts of Senua's have an impact on herself. In the previous game, it was kind of acknowledged that she was responsible for some things that impact others in their life. But in this game, you kind of see the reactions, like the Laura Croft effect. You know, she goes someplace, some stuff happens, and a lot of people get hurt or killed. In this situation, you see Senua, you know, trying to help people, but unfortunately there are going to be casualties, and the way she reacts to them and responds to them and how it impacts her as the game go along, it's wonderful to see how it breaks out and how the character development and building in this game plays out. So I gotta say, man, and again, this is an unscripted review. Hellblade 2, undoubtedly, this is the best game I've played. They've outclassed Hellblade 1 easily. You gave a team like that a little bit of a budget increase and some years to really hone in on their craft. They deliver you a masterpiece. I'm telling you guys, Hellblade 2 is a masterpiece. Like, I can only play Hellblade 1 one time. I'm in the middle of my second playthrough because they added some replay value. You play the game the first time, you unlocked a new way to play the campaign. Again, I don't want to spoil that. You guys gotta experience that for yourself. But the story doesn't drag. It's not slow. It's 6 I think 5 or 6 chapters, but they're all they have their ease into it, but it doesn't last too long before the action comes in, and the action is constant, nonstop. The combat sequences are no longer predictable. In the first game, they were highly predictable. This game, they're not predictable. The transition sequence in this game, from how you get from point A to point B, or how you go finish one mission and to continue on your journey, the way they play with the camera and play with the scope of the world and advance the story is masterful. For anybody who's played this game will understand what I'm talking about, and they did it to a T. So when it comes to the main pillars of a video game of what you're looking for one, gameplay. Yes, this is a gameplay where, to the point where I can't be critical and call it a walking simulator, because this is a well balanced. Obviously, you have your walking simulator elements, but everything you're doing in this game is for a purpose. You have your puzzles, which are most are sophisticated, nothing over the top, but sophisticated. You have your gameplay action, which is I would say, as far as button prompts or input, nothing new to what we've played, but how it's delivered is unique, and I feel like it's above what we get now. When we talk about the graphics, this is the best looking game on console to date, and is probably going to remain that way for a long time. This game is next generation. The presentation is next generation, and the story it's a wonderful story, a wonderful story that you should all experience, and they put it together masterfully. I'm looking forward to playing through this game again. Probably going to be worth 3 playthroughs, 2 on Xbox, 1 on PC, double up on some achievements. But if I had to put a score on this, I don't know where it's going to land on Metacritic, but I say it's definitely going to be leaning closer to like an 88, 89. Me personally, it's my game of the year so far. That's a 9.5 out of 10. I know it's early, but I don't see any other game topping this, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out my Hellblade 2 review, and I hope you guys enjoy the game. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.